Yes, guys, welcome to SFeatleyTV, and we're back with another EPL review show. We are going back and reviewing the last weekend's games. Right, we are going to be chucking out the content, bang out on schedule, try and do as much as I possibly can, that is. So, I don't know why it's not just gone live on Twitter, but there you go. So, if you were going to watch on Twitter, I do apologise. Try and find us on YouTube. It also does help the charity that way. But we got Josh, CFC. How are you, my friend?
Very well. It's been a while since I've been on the channel. I've missed talking to you about all things football, so I'm glad to be back and thank you for having me.
No worries, man. I was going to introduce that, but he's disappeared. Yeah. By the way, did you have a good Christmas and a New Year? By the way, I must ask. Josh, did you have a good Christmas and a New Year before we go any further?
Yes, I had my Christmas very well. I said I've been off work for 12 days, and I go back on Thursday, so it's been a really good break, well needed break, and so sadly there's not been as much football as I would have hoped because of COVID, but and Chelsea, yeah, well, not been great, a great festive season for Chelsea either, but that's the way football is.
Yeah, well, we could get into that. Obviously, we're getting into that at some point during the show. We got Marley as well. He's just popped away just to take a delivery for the pharmacy, so he'll be back. Oh, he's here. He's here. How are you, my friend?
Well, I was paying for a pharmacy delivery, so there's something wrong with me, right? But I'm fine. It's just a really bad neck.
Apart from sparking off frigging uproars on Twitter.
Mate, I've been angry. It's not like me, right? Like I've been out
of
character.
You're trying to clickbait people and trying to start arguments between people. Like is the what he said to me just before I decided to mention Benitez and pull up the popcorn.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. And
yeah,
it wasn't only Nitesh. There was a second guy that jumped on you as well. That was
he's not even an Arsenal fan. I'm like, what's he got to do with you? What's it got to... Of course you want to go on about Arteta saying he's the next coming of Pep because you're not an Arsenal fan. You want him to slay. It's fucking Comedy Central. Right? Anyway.
Yeah.
Right. We'll start with the game that we had on the week, the early game that we had, which was Arsenal Man City. Big up King Tony, by the way. Big up New Year flying already. Yes, we are. Buzzing after beating Villa yesterday 2-1. Good on ya. Big up Niall. Hope you're well, mate. Big up. Big up the panel. Hope we win our next game. It would be Liverpool in the EPL Cup. Could mention that at some point in the show. But yeah, we're going to start with Arsenal versus Man City, where despite our best efforts, and we played pretty well in that game to be honest, we did end up losing 2-1 on the day. Marley, in your fan cam, you were very, very angry and definitely not framing away from just calling it out as it is and didn't care who you offend. Yeah. Yeah. What did you... yeah, so let me... you fire away. By the way, before I do, like, big up Josh for your birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, mate.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, mate. No, I don't think he's quite got his Zimmer frame yet, but we could ask. Have you got a Zimmer frame yet? No. Okay, we'll take that as a no. Marley, go on, fire away. Man City, Arsenal. You are very pissed off with that.
Well, I think it's good for your channel for me to shout out the videos I've been on, because you guys definitely should look them up, because I've said plenty about that game. Mate, that was robbery. I want to hear what Josh thought about that game, because he should be sort of impartial. I know he probably hates Arsenal.
Well, he's also partly a ref, so we could ask him actually, because we actually wanted to do a ref view at some point. But Josh, what did you make of that? Like that Man City result? Obviously, as a title contender as well.
Man City were very second to best. I think the whole game. I think Arsenal had a very good setup. They pressed Manchester City. They attacked Nathan Ake at left back. Obviously, Nathan Ake was very uncomfortable. Saka the whole
No,
game.
said that would be a weak point.
Saka did very well in attacking Nathan Ake, and it seems like obviously Arteta wasn't there. Obviously, it was your assistant manager on the touchline, and I think the game plan was really good. The thing that let you down was. Well, the first of all was Gabriel. I think Gabriel's 2 yellow cards were really bad, especially the second one. He went in carelessly and rashly, and it was a clear second yellow. When you're on a yellow card, you can't just be running into Man City defenders like that. You need to be smarter. You need to be holding your line a bit more. Yeah, you need to stand off a bit more and kind of trust your ability to kind of jock him away.
He didn't even need to do it. He didn't need to do it. He should have been. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. It was
a terrible. So Gabriel let you guys down big time. It was a bad penalty to get away on Bernardo Silva. No experience. It was a definite penalty. I'm surprised VAR even had to look at it, and it took as long as it did to decide it was a penalty. But Arsenal should have had a penalty. I don't see where the consistency is, where the Manchester City penalty got checked, but the Arsenal one doesn't. That is where I don't really understand the consistency of it. I do feel bad for Arsenal, but you went against 10 men down to Manchester City, who, even on a bad day, can score so many goals, so many good players that pop up in certain positions, and that's what happened. And it just kind of sums up maybe where Arsenal are at, where it's a matter of seeing out the games. When you're playing against these big teams at home, you need to see out games. You need to be smarter within your decisions. Gabriel let you down. You didn't get any luck by the referee. It's painful. You shouldn't have had. It's a bad penalty and a very bad red card to have, but when you give those opportunities to Manchester City, you're going to be punished, and you're going to be punished hard. And it sucks because I think Arsenal should have had 3 points, never mind 0.
Yeah, for me, like when I was sitting there looking at it, I agree. We should have had a penalty in the first half, like. But once we scored the first goal, like, we didn't usually do what we usually do straight afterwards, which is back off 5 yards. We did that against Liverpool, and it paid the price. And maybe and I got a feeling that's because Arteta wasn't there shouting it on the touchline. Because after the half-time team talk, we started dropping back 5 yards. And we do know Arteta can get in on an iPad or a Zoom call like during half-time. Like, it's done by any other managers before. So my feeling is he's talked to him at half-time to sort of try and manage the game on a 1-0 lead, and you shouldn't be doing that against Man City everywhere. You let them back in the game, and all of a sudden you're conceding a stupid penalty. Right? When actually they had one shot on target at that point, only one shot on target at that point, and because of that, they
had no shots on target at that point.
Well, they had no shots on target, and until that, and then once that penalty went in. Right, Arsenal lost their heads.
Yeah.
Arsenal lost their heads, and this is the problem, and this is why I've said, like on my stream, on my fan cam and whatever, I've said it's down to Arteta's Arsenal's mentality, not Arsenal's mentality. Arsenal's mentality is I count Arsenal's mentality as the Arsenal of old. That's what I grew up on, and that's what I call Arsenal, which is, no matter what, we try and draw or win this game. Don't care who we're playing. Don't care what the situation is. Right? And we always try and keep our heads to it. But what I've seen, which has been a combination of many years of not winning a title and anything, but also like the last 2 years with Arteta, is as soon as something goes against us, we fall apart. Like the David Luiz one, I'd say, against Wolves, we played really well, but we lost the game and lost our heads in that game.
I just want to quickly add something about that before the other guy speaks. I think the issue
Wolves last season, by the way.
And the thing is, when you look at Manchester City's back four, Manchester City did not have... Kyle Walker was on the bench, but he was only there to make up numbers. He wasn't fit. That back line of Manchester City was getting exposed the whole first half. And you know Manchester City's attacking threat. They score goals, they'll create chances. So, to sit back at home against Man City, who had a depleted back line and were not at their best, it's just questionable from Arteta, because you're kind of throwing in the white flag and saying, we'll take a draw here, even if we concede. we're going to stay back. We're not going to go win a game against the bigger teams at home when you're on top and everyone in your fur. Actually, as I did it back now. You have to attack them and you have to keep going. If you're going to sit back, you're going to ask for trouble and you're going to concede goals because City will break teams down no matter how deep they sit. They've done that time and time again, no matter how bad they've been. So I think Mikel Arteta has done this against the bigger teams, Manchester United, Chelsea, even Spurs. He always sits back, he always plays on the counter-attack, and more times than not, it doesn't work, and he just doesn't seem to be learning.
Yeah.
Can I address like the monologue?
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it, mate. Go for it.
I can't really argue with Josh, right? Because he has a lot more. Well, he's more in the know about refereeing than I am, so I'm not gonna argue with anything here. But it's exactly what he said. It's the inconsistency that pisses us off. Against United, and I don't want to complain about a game that's like, I don't know, a month ago, but against United, Tomiyasu was pulled by Maguire, and that was a lot clearer than what Xhaka did to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva was, sure, he pulled his shirt. He did. And that's stupid. Xhaka is stupid. We all know that. But I don't think there was any contact on the legs, and he pulled his shirt when Bernardo Silva was literally horizontal. And when you pull, like, he went on the opposite direction of what he was supposed to do if Xhaka actually pulled him with strength. As if Maguire actually pulled and took Takehiro Tomiyasu down. And you have the thing with Rodri where he was really violent. I know he only had like 2 or 3 fouls, but he was really violent. He ran over Martinelli and only got a yellow card after taking his shirt off. By the way, he riled the fans up. Like, he should have gotten a red card just by the celebration alone. But, you know, the little fouls always went City's way. We got so many yellow cards from, like, simple, not really complaints, like players trying to understand what's happening. Saka was getting beat up the entire game. He asked, like, what's up? He got a yellow card. And the thing with Gabriel, which is really, like, it's unfortunate, I think both cards were harsh. That was his first foul. I know it's an aggressive foul, but it was his first foul in the entire game. And, like, he was... People talk about the thing on the penalty spot, but, like, he was throwing a tantrum because of the inconsistency, right? Like, you got to try to understand the mind of that young guy. And then he got a little too aggressive with the other Gabriel, and things went to shit. Plus, Martinelli missed an open goal opportunity because the ref was literally marking him. The ref got in his way. The ref marked him. So the whole situation was a shit show. And you're right. Like, the biggest thing is that Arsenal is really unlucky. We are an unlucky team. But I don't know. I was so angry.
Let me put this into perspective. So your penalty was not looked at by VAR, all right?
Yeah.
But the first goal Chelsea scored against Liverpool, Kovacic, was looked for an offside for someone impeding the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But theirs gets a full fucking inquiry. Theirs is a penalty. We know it's a penalty. Why the hell are you looking for VAR? That's more, mate. But, like, they're both clear penalties, but the one is more obvious is the fucking Man City one, right? Because you can see him make contact with the player, right?
Yes.
The other one, you can't see him if you're looking behind, if the Everton's made contact with the ball or the player. So you need to look at a monitor. But he doesn't choose to look at a monitor with that one. He looks with the obvious one. Like, so where's the consistency? Where's the consistency?
I've got some news that might make everyone here smile. It is special that Phil Jones is starting for Manchester United against Wolves tonight. So Jones is starting.
Wait, what?
Phil Jones starts for Manchester United.
Is that his testimonial? Is that his testimonial today?
Phil Jones.
I laugh they fucking lose. If he scores an own goal, I'm gonna piss myself laughing. I'm gonna piss myself. Mate, like if they lose because of a Phil Jones own goal, I'm telling you now, all Man United fans, you better run and hide. Like, I'm coming for you. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Convenient bias from the refs towards the top teams always happened when Fergie was Yeah, even like Fergie's players, like, when they did a documentary between the Wenger-Ferguson rivalry, even they mentioned they got the favourable deal, the favourable end of the ref. Like, but that's well known. But it's like I've said. It's like I've said throughout. Like, put it like the other sporting context we've got in this channel is the F1 side, and the F1 side as well has been inconsistency. And you see how many people have been pissed off through the end of that season because of the inconsistency. Like, certain decisions that under the rules should be given are not been given. So, like, it's the same here. And it makes you question, like, what's really going on. And I don't know. For me, it's like... sometimes it's like they're trying to manufacture something, or they're just damn incompetent. Like, I don't know. Like, but we'll move on to your games.
Mate, City.
Go on.
City pays like, I don't know, an average of 300,000 pounds a week to their players. You think they can't afford to slip, like 50,000 to Atbull? That's so easy to do. So easy to do, mate. There's so much oil money there. Nah.
Marley, you do know we spent the most this transfer window.
Oh, sure, but apparently we didn't spend on refs. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have bought Ben White and spent that money on refs because it's a better...
Yeah, we should have bought Mike Dean. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he's always against this, the bald prick. Yeah. Sorry. Like I can't stand him. Like he's one of the worst of the lot. He is. Like him and that Jonathan Moss. Oh my God, that guy needs to, like, first of all, the first thing he needs to do if he wants to stay as a ref, right, is to lose weight because he can't keep up with play, right? And two, he needs to go to Specsavers. That's the two things he needs to do first if he wants to continue as a manager, as a referee. Simple as that. I heard about this, about Oba going to Newcastle. It might happen. Goodbye. Bye. Jog on. See you later.
Even though they're not similar comparisons exactly to what happened, obviously, Chelsea are in similar a situation with Romelu Lukaku, and where should level of discipline, for an apparent big player, someone who you rely on a lot, someone who you paid a lot of money. That's obviously Arteta's made his decision at the current moment to keep Lukaku out. I'm assuming we'll hear at some point today what's happened with Chelsea and Lukaku. But I know you're pained with Aubameyang. A guy that you love so much to just do that to your club. It's awful.
Yeah, I mean, Steven said he's happy to see Aubameyang leave. Like, because of his recent form, I am too. But I'm really sad of the way things are happening because he's one of our best players in the last decade. Like he's solid striker, scored a lot of goals for us. Like he almost hit that legendary status. So I'm sad to see him leave this way. But he should leave. And Newcastle is one of the few clubs in the world that can afford him, and apparently they're the only ones that actually want him. So I hope it happens. I don't want him to save them from relegation though, because Newcastle being relegated this season would be very convenient.
I'm not too fussed, to be honest. Like, sooner or later, they're going to be up there, so
yeah,
it makes no difference to me.
I'd rather delay it.
We'll go on to... who should go on? We'll go on to Chelsea and Liverpool now. Like, 1-1 was the score in the end. Yeah, Josh, watching this game... 2-2, sorry, should I say. Josh... What did you make of the game? Entertaining game. Very
entertaining game. Can I just say something really quick? Really quick? That Chelsea and Liverpool game showed a lot of consistency. Because Mane keeps elbowing people and nothing happens to him. That's very consistent in the Prem. That guy is mean. Go ahead. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it was a really good game, Chelsea and Liverpool. And I think Chelsea were probably unfortunate to go down. I think Chelsea matched Liverpool really, really well. I thought we probably played a better football throughout the whole 90 minutes. We controlled the game better. Christian Pulisic should be scoring from the mistake early on, which was literally probably a minute before Liverpool went up and scored. Trevor Chalobah, he's been fantastic. He was originally meant to be going on loan at the start of the season, but he really, really impressed in pre-season. He stayed around. He's been flawless. He made one mistake previous before that, which we got away with, and then he made the mistake for the Liverpool goal. But it's the first mistake he's made, and I actually thought, to be fair to him, I thought he bounced back from that really, really well. So it was unfortunate. The second goal, Salah's incredible. I think the positioning of the backline was a bit wrong. Antonio really goes out of position, and then Marcus Alonso had to tuck in away, but he got sold out by Salah. Great finish though. It's Mohamed Salah. He's probably my player of the year at the moment. It was a fantastic goal, but Chelsea fought back really, really well. Liverpool dominated for about 5 minutes after that, but then Chelsea got back into the game. Fantastic goal by Mateo Kovacic. Goal of the season contender right there. Fantastic strike from him. The technique, just if you're watching slow, watch the technique on the way his feet was working, absolutely incredible. And then I think it was 2 minutes later, Christian Pulisic went up and scored. A really well worked move by Chelsea. I think a point was fair in the end. Both teams didn't really do too much in the second half. Mendy had a few decent saves to make. We tested Callagher a wee bit too. Again, the last point was fair. But I think Chelsea were unfortunate to go 2-0 down. Two little mistakes kind of sums up our season. We've done that all year. We've made little mistakes and it's cost us. But we showed grit, determination to get back into the game. And I think a point was fair in the end. Really, really, really good game of football. If Chelsea didn't go 2-0 down, I actually have a funny feeling Chelsea won that game, given how we conceded the goals. But that's football. You make mistakes. The games can change like that. But a point was fair in the end. And I think Chelsea played really, really well.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I do, and it's kind of related a little bit, but not really. Where is Luca? Luca was doing. I wasn't doing a watch along. I was thinking about doing a watch along for it, but I really didn't feel well on Sunday, so I obviously decided not to. But Luca decided to do one, right? And then apparently I'm getting today that he's calling me out about Andre Silva. Jesus Christ, are we going through this again? Mate, you can't call someone who's done 28 goals in 34 league games, not all comps, a shit player. You can't. You can't. If you really can, how about you, go off and do it yourself. Go do it yourself. Go do it for Frankfurt yourself. And you're relying on Isak, who's a player that you've only seen in the Euros. He's never seen him play for Real Sociedad. He's only seen him in the Euros. Well, the international football and club football are two totally different things. Right? And you've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's spent most of his time pretty much doing what I do every week, go to the hospital. You want to come on and you want to call me out about Andre Silva because I actually rate someone who scores 28 goals in 34 league games. Come on, mate. Turn it in. Come on. How many times do I have to mention it? I don't even have to bring the stats up. I've got the stats on here if you really want me to show them again. I don't need to because I've already shown them on previous streams. And I'll show them again every time you bring it up. Because it completely defeats your argument. If you don't want Andre Silva for a specific reason because he doesn't suit our style of play, I get your point, right? But if you're just saying it because he's shit, when you've hardly actually seen him play anyway, because you haven't, then I'm sorry, you're deluded. You're completely deluded. Completely.
Andres Silva, I think he's our oldest target that plays against him for sure. Because
that's why they'll never get him.
We're clearly chasing young players, like kids. That's what we're going after. And I understand what you're saying. My argument, I think I mentioned this before it went live, the big steps he took in his career haven't quite worked out. I thought he wasn't working out at Leipzig. I was wrong. He just took a little longer to...
Would you say though, Marley, where we are right now, it's a real big step, though.
It's mate.
I
Arsenal.
know it's Arsenal. It is Arsenal, a big club, but where we are at the minute, not Europe, just focus on its league performance.
Because Leipzig's having a bad season, yeah, we're a step up for sure. And we'd be the second biggest club that he's ever played for, and he barely played for Milan. So it would be an important step in his career.
And to be fair, he's only just getting games now. He's not really been played, so what's he going to do?
Yeah, you're right. I had a misconception about him at Leipzig. I got to admit to that. But I just feel like, I don't know, I'm not as sure as you are that he'd work out. That's all.
He did say that. Tell me he didn't say that. Please tell me he didn't say that.
I thought he looked good versus City, mate.
No, but not 200 million's worth.
No. He's still not worth 50, but he played a good game against City.
Anthony, you're making that up. Please tell me you didn't say that. Oh, I'd have to clip it. I'd have to. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, moving on, because we've got many other games to cover. The Spuds, like them wankers down the road. 1-0 in the 96th minute. Like,
I was talking to you when that happened.
Yeah, only if we can make it bloody worse. Like, 96th minute, they get a winner. Like, I mean, I don't think they've... To be fair, like, Watford played a good game. And they deserve something out of that game, to be honest. Like, Tottenham didn't deserve all 3 points out of that game. I don't care what anyone says. Like, because though they dominated for most of the possession and most of the shots and that, Watford held their own. Like, they played a beautiful attacking, counter-attacking game for me. So I think they deserve something.
You're gonna see a lot of late 1-0s with Conte in charge. That's gonna happen a lot. Just
yeah. Chris, how are you, my friend?
Good evening. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good one.
Yeah, as good as can be. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. We're just going on about Watford Tottenham. I responded to Luca trying to call me out about Andre Silva, because apparently 28 league goals in 34 league games ain't good enough. Right? And it's totally shit. Right? Like, apparently. That's what I'm hearing. Well, yeah, when he got an Isak who can't even do just about over 20 in all comps. So, but hey, but anyway, like we're going on about Watford Tottenham, and as much as Tottenham dominate the game, I do feel Watford were a bit hard done by at the end there. I do feel they should deserve a draw out of that. They did work their socks off.
Yeah, but you don't get what It's all about results, and I'm going to quoting loads of sort of typical football sayings. Game of 2 halves. It's all about results. I said when Watford got Ranieri, he wasn't the manager to get them out of the trouble that they were in. He isn't a relegation fight manager. I mean, look at us after the season. He won the league. Yeah. He had us in a relegation battle. And look where they are now, and look where they were when he took over. It's just not. If they stay up, it'll be about by a point. They're actually worse off than if they stuck with the original manager.
So I think they weren't even doing that bad under that manager.
They were actually higher than us at the time. So using that logic, we sat.
Oh mate, and you've been shit. I mean, God's sake. Like
No.
I had to put that one in.
You've waited about 5 seasons to say this, but the season's not over yet.
I've waited 5 seasons and I'm using it now, mate. Trust me.
And I don't blame you. I do not blame you. All I say is obviously the process is working.
Yeah, let's not go that far, shall we?
Go come on, you got to be happy with 4th in the league. Come on, mate.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm alright for now, right? But like, I still say in the long term, he's not gonna get what in the long run, like in the long future.
Yeah.
Like, so not talking this season or next season. Is he gonna win us the title? No.
No, but who's you know, Klopp's not going to win Liverpool the title this season. Conte's not going to win Spurs the title this season. At the moment,
No. I mean, in the long run. I mean, once we get a squad that's good enough, like, even if you got a squad that's good enough, would he be able to take on these managers and beat them? No.
He won't take on Man City, but Klopp's not going to be there forever.
Yeah.
You know, another
But
couple
I
of
think
seasons,
Steven Gerrard will be good. I think Steven Gerrard will be will do wonders there. I think Steven Gerrard is a quality manager.
Just started, mate.
To be honest, yeah, look what he's
You
doing
gotta
with
calm
Rangers.
down, Steven. You gotta
But
calm
look what he's
down,
done with Rangers, and look what he's managed to do with the rest of it. Come on.
You could manage Rangers and get them where they are. Rangers, Celtic, it's like when Rodgers did so well at Celtic. You got to have a look at it in context. But all those seasons when he won stuff, for most of the time, Rangers, which is the main opposition, were not even in the same league. They'd been dropped down to the bottom tier and had to build. That's why he was winning everything. And Steven Gerrard's come in at Rangers following the sacking of, following Rodgers leaving, and they're in a mess, Celtic. I don't think you can judge anybody by what they do in Scottish football.
No, I think, but he's holding his own at Aston Villa at the moment. Like, for the moment. Like,
The bubbles burst. The bubbles burst.
Well.
Two losses on the trot.
Yeah, 2 losses on the trot. Yeah,
Including Brentford.
Yeah, that was a shock.
And Villa has a good team, mate. They have a good team.
I still feel he will be Liverpool manager. Right?
Probably, yeah, I'd agree with you.
He's definitely going to be a Liverpool manager after Klopp's gone. But like, even then, we still got to worry about what Man United and what manager they're going to get first, right? And then you've still got Man City and you've got Chelsea. Chelsea are always going to have a top manager and a top team, right? Man City are always going to have a top manager and a top team. So is he going to outsmart these managers if it is still Pep, if it is still Tuchel? No. He doesn't have the tactical nous in a game to be able to change it in a positive way to win the game. If we're 1-0 down, he'll try and take the 1-0 down, the defeat. Like, because the only changes he seems to make in game are the changes that will keep a lead, not try and extend it or try and finish the game off.
Just to be fair, Steven, as of lately, for the past few games, Arsenal has been really offensive and we didn't stop attacking. I know where you're coming from, because for a long time that's exactly what Arteta did. Probably because he didn't trust our defense. But as of lately, we've been a very attacking team. We won a bunch of games from 5-0.
I understand that, Marley, but there's a fair few games now where like say like even before the City game, like the Norwich game, people say, yeah, we won that 5-0, but the first goal, we scored, and then what do? We sat back, we let them back in it again. Then we went and got a second, we let them back in it again, and then we got to get a third. You're not going to get it if you keep doing that with teams, right? Teams are going to have more than just that little they're quality teams, not your Norwiches, by the way. Right, if you let them back in the game, they'll take full advantage.
Yeah, but Steven, with the players we have, it kind of makes sense because Arsenal with Martinelli and Saka is one of the most dangerous counter-attacking teams in world football. They're really fast and really good. So it makes sense for you to score one, go and sort of go back a little bit. So that
but then Marley, it's also good to play them as very good pressing teams like we just did with Man City. Because we did that very successfully against Man City, and if we kept up with that, we probably would have won the game.
How many times,
there you go,
Stephen, have you won the league where you've won the games 1-0, 1-0, 1-0? That used to be your nickname, didn't it? Arsenal 1-0. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you win. And I get where you're coming from, because I can say exactly the same about Rodgers when he's ahead. But I think you got to look at Arteta. And all joking aside,
But it's a bit predictable at the minute. It is
yes,
a bit
but it's
predictable at the moment.
It's his first managerial job, isn't it? His first serious managerial job.
Well, that's why he shouldn't be in the manager then. That's why he shouldn't be training as an Arsenal manager, should he?
Should Klopp not be Liverpool manager? I mean,
No, but Klopp's got the experience though. But Klopp's got the experience behind him though.
It still took him 5 or 6 seasons to get to the point where he actually, when he won, obviously he won absolutely everything, World Club Championship.
I understand that, but I would trust that with Klopp because he's got years. Yeah, but the Klopp's got the experience for me to say, yeah, he's done that before, so I can trust that he actually can do it. Right? Arteta, it's like one big frigging gamble. It's like putting yourself the lottery ticket in thing and hoping you're going to win the millions.
That gamble might come off.
You never know, but at the minute, it just looks too predictable at the minute. So when we go up against top teams, like we've done against Liverpool and Man City, Man United as well, Man United were managerless, right? And in that game, if he had been positive, we would have won the game. We would have won the game if he had decided to be positive with his changes. He wasn't. He was negative, right? And because of that, they got the upper hand and they won the game. And that's where and in those moments, that's where he will falter.
I think
right? Because he has not got the experience.
I think your narrative should change a bit, and you should say that Arsenal could have won the game or like had a good chance of winning that game. You can't be sure. You can't say for sure that if we played a more attacking team in the second half against United, would have won. They're a good side as well, mate.
No, even when we equalised, we could have quite easily gone on there.
We could have, but you're saying we would have.
But he decided in his substitutions to try and consolidate and get out with a draw.
Yeah.
I mean, the last 5 games...
It's not what you want to see.
The last 5 games, you've lost 1, and it was to Man City. Who's not lost to Man City? You know, we got stuffed 6-3 by Man City. We then went on and beat Liverpool 1-0. It's that kind of a season.
But then again,
if you finish the season 4th in the Champions League, you're not telling me that Arteta's not doing a good job.
Well, here's what I would say. All right, and this is coming from a guy who obviously had Frank Lampard as manager. So in the similar experiments of an experienced manager, when you look at the Arsenal team. And I compared it to what it was like under Frank Lampard before he got sacked. With Arsenal, you can see what Arsenal are trying to do. You see the formation, you see the philosophy, you see the ideas, and it is very clear that the players are following what Arteta wants them to do. When you look at what Lampard had, before he got sacked, the Chelsea players were all over the place. There was no system, there was no idea. They looked lost, they looked confused, and Lampard had to get sacked in the end. But at least with Arteta, yes, there's times where Arsenal, like the game at Goodison Park, where they're all over the shop and they don't look like themselves. But you'll get that in football. There will be games where players either don't step up or the match gets tactics wrong. That's football. Thomas Tuchel has got tactics wrong. He against Juventus and Man City earlier in the season, he got his tactics completely wrong. He got called out. That's football. But Chelsea absolutely adore the man. But with Arteta, you can see the players are fighting for him. Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, they're all doing good things. They all backed it. It was very easy for the Arsenal players to throw Arteta under the bus after what he did with Aubameyang. They could have decided of Aubameyang, throw Arteta under the bus, and Arteta could be under the heat. If anything, they've all backed Arteta, and it's showing on the pitch that maybe it would work out better. So it's one of these things that Arsenal. It's a timely thing with Arsenal, but it's a timely thing with Arteta. You can see what he's trying to do, and how are you doing the FA Cup this season? Will you finish in the Europa League spot? Will be a big dependent on on what Arsenal's success is as a season. But it's harsh to be really harsh on him because he's doing a good job with a limited squad, limited resources, and it is very clear that the players are buying into what he wants to do. And if players, especially at Arsenal, who have a typical history of having attitude problems, are buying into what he's doing, then it's a good time for Arsenal in the future.
And you've got to think as well, on that Man City game, there's certain things the manager can't control. Like some of the players being that stupid that they get themselves sent off for, things that they shouldn't even be being talked to about.
But then shouldn't be a mentality, shouldn't a mentality should be set in by the manager.
Yeah, but once they cross that line, I get what you're saying, and I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here.
I understand that because, and I've been waiting. The thing is that I've been waiting for a manager to trying to get these players to
And
not.
he's
Because
dealing
that's
with
what
a-
they did.
a
Their
banger
heads
young,
dropped.
isn't he?
Their heads dropped after the penalty. Their heads dropped. They lost their heads, and their heads dropped. Right, and that's what we've been trying to teach these players for so long. And if you're still getting these, and it's still the same players that keep doing the same things, why are you keeping them?
But you can, as a team, there's an old saying, isn't it? You can't polish a turd, and you've got a few turds in that team. You know, your ex-captain or whatever he's, wherever he's.
Yeah, Xhaka's another. Like, yeah, Xhaka's one of them, definitely. Like, why?
But
what?
They are. Had you got, and that was, and I can't actually believe I'm sat on an Arsenal fan channel here defending Arsenal. But when you, you're not bloody clipping this, I'll tell you. fuck. There, you can't clip it now. But had you got that penalty, it was a penalty.
Trust me, that doesn't solve it. Doesn't solve your issues.
No,
trust me.
I know. That you should have had a penalty.
Mate, Drake,
you guys
hang on, sorry, I've got to jump in here. Drake, where the fuck were you in your watch along? Where the fuck was you on Saturday night when we did our player ratings? Disappeared, didn't you? Disappeared.
He was
when I said after a loss, or during a loss, I meant during the watch along or during our player ratings. You're big enough to come on the player ratings straight as soon as we win, but as soon as we lose, you disappear. What is it? You got to come up with your excuses.
We lost.
Was it a free hit again?
We lost, but it was probably our best performance of the season.
Yeah.
He was probably.
Is it a free hit?
He would have come here, and I'm totally in agreement with what he just said because sure, Xhaka is not a young player and he's so dumb. Everyone knows that.
Oh my god.
His mom knows that. But other than that, we have such a young squad. Sure, Gabriel was stupid that game, but he's an amazing center back.
But this is the problem. Why we've got such a young squad? Why that's fine then, but we should not now still be trying to get young players like Isak, right? For example, we should be trying to get some experience in there. Like get rid of your Xhaka. Because you need some experience in a young side. You do. Otherwise, like it ends in tears, right? So you do need a midfield. Yeah, you do need that one experienced player in the defence. You need that one experienced player in the midfield and one experienced up front, right? At least that's what you at least need in a young side. Because their heads will get to a point in a game where their heads are about to drop, and it's going to have to be down to the experienced players to get their heads up and say, carry on. Right?
Oh, mate, but
unfortunately, we got Xhaka to do that.
You say that for a long time now, Arsenal's best players have been the young players. Aubameyang has been crap. Lacazette's playing well now, but he hasn't been too awesome for a long time. Partey started off really slowly. He's now catching his football back. And Xhaka sucks. Our best players are young players.
Drake,
it has been that case for a while.
Drake, Man City was shit. If they were good, we would have got nowhere nearer, mate. Like, I don't know where. Yeah, it is fair to say they were shit. They were shit. They had to be shit.
Season, mate. The game before, they'd stuffed us 6-3.
Well, there you go.
And they were off this planet. And then the next game, they have a bad game. That's what it is. You've won 4 on a
and then,
trot,
so when,
and you've lost one to probably.
That's why when you see that, but then when you see that happen, like you've got to take your opportunity.
Had you got that penalty, and like I say, it was a penalty. Yours was a clearer penalty than theirs was. It should have at least gone to VAR. Had you got that, could have been a different story. I think it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
But you get, we all have VAR decisions go against us. Sometimes they go for us. And it's those sort of things. We know. Look at, when I forgot who went down. Aston Villa went down. Was it because a goalkeeper, the ball went over the line, but it wasn't given or something? Decisions like that can cost you. And I just think, and I just know the last thing, because I'm not going to defend Arsenal anymore. I just think, I'm in I wish I was in your place this season because we've got to virtually probably get nothing this season. It happens. I mean, somebody said there. Drake said you've got a brighter future than United.
Leicester. I'm just playing a little violin for you.
Yeah, no, we're having a reality check season, but Drake said there that you're in a better position than United. Yes, you are, because you've got a load of youngsters that are playing well that are coming through.
And they've had a manager who's managerless.
Yeah, but they haven't got a manager. They've got
They've got a temporary manager. For God's sake,
they're Man United, and they can't. The manager should be walking over broken glass barefoot to manage that club. And they can't get a manager in. They've got to get a temporary manager in. And look at the quality of players they've got. Cavani, Ronaldo, and they still can't beat Newcastle. We still past Newcastle.
Just to quickly add to that, the thing with Manchester United is it's not the manager who runs Manchester United; it's the guys above them. For example, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I know tactically and stuff he was not a good manager, but he had a setup and an idea in his head, and he was stuck in with Ronaldo, and Ronaldo
oh my fucking God.
Ronaldo took over the Manchester United dressing room, and he was going behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's back, talking bad about him. There was reports coming out about how Ronaldo took over the dressing room. You know, Manchester United managers have had a very, very difficult time these last few years. They were Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, David Moyes, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They have really, really bad issues controlling the dressing room. Manchester United managers have had really bad issues with the dressing room, and that comes from the above buying players that they shouldn't be buying. So being a Manchester United manager is extraordinarily difficult, but it's a toxic atmosphere to go into these days. And when you got Ronaldo in your dressing room, and if you're not strong enough to do it, it's a big issue.
I've got to go through some of these comments because there's loads of them coming in. Some of them are good, some of them are just completely deluded. And I wonder who's doing the deluded ones. About time, please. Jay, it's about time, please come for the watch-alongs, right? Come for the watch-alongs. That'll be I'm here, right? Win, lose or draw, I'm still here, and I'll still say the same thing over and over again. So if you don't like what I'm saying about Arteta, go somewhere else and find it. Go find it on AFTV or somewhere, because this is what my opinion is, and it's a real opinion. I'm not doing this fake positive crap, right? So it's all right getting top 4 for this season, brilliant. But like I said, my long-term aim in the whole service. Look, if we finished 6th and then next season we went on to challenge the title, I couldn't care what we did this season because we went on the challenge for the title.
Next season, you got 2 transfer windows before then.
Yeah, but that's no. I'm just saying if that was what was to happen, and we ended up 5th in the Europa League, right? But we still managed to get, say, the players in and then go on and challenge for the league, right? Then I wouldn't care what happened this season and what we achieved this season, right? Because it'd be about what we're doing next season, about trying to win the league and trying to compete with these clubs to win the league. Which, by the way, will have better managers and better squads, by the way. So we won't be able to compete.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing. Like you can't really put that too much on Arteta, mate. I know we're here with Chris and
brighter future than United. Come on, mate. They just need one manager.
I'll address that.
They'll turn us over. They'll turn us over, mate.
I'll address that. But Chris,
come on, man.
Chris, we have here a Leicester fan. He saw his team win the league. That was by far the coolest league champions I've ever seen in my life. Like biggest underdog story I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Other than that,
especially Tottenham, because lost it.
Powerful, rich, money spending teams win. We're so far off right now, man. We need 5 world-class players to be able to compete.
But then, Marley, in saying that, we've spent the most since the Conkies have taken over.
Yeah, mate, we spent the most, but we're much further behind, Steven. You know that.
I get that. But if we can spend but Marley, if we can spend that sort of money, right, then they should be doing that.
Yeah, we got to keep spending, but that's
so there you go then. So we can do it. We can do it if we have the ambition to, right? But what Drake and these Arteta and Muppets don't understand is, it's all PR, right? They don't have the ambition. This club, this this club has a board and an owner with no ambition to win the league, right? If you want to finish top 4, jog on, right? I don't want to be top 4. I want to win the bloody league in the future, right? But this lot don't want to. Top 4 is winning the league to them because they get 100 million in their pocket. But if you want to fucking believe that, go on, jog on. But I'm not. That's why they went with Arteta, because they wanted to find the cheapest, shortest route to get to Champions League and get themselves 100 million in their pocket. That's all they want. That's all the board want.
You're not going to see me defend.
That's the harsh truth of it. And if you can't accept that as an Arsenal fan, you need to wake up and smell the coffee. Because that's the truth.
I would never defend the board, mate. I mean, I do defend Edu. He's great.
No, you defend Edu, who's too busy on cigars, like on a Cuban beach, smoking a cigar, flipping burgers, right? Rather than getting transfer deals done. Like,
dude. Chris, let me ask you.
I'm just worried about. Sorry, I'm worried about.
What's that beach in Rio you call?
Copacabana.
Yeah, tell him to get off the Copacabana beach and start getting on the transfer business, will ya? God's sake.
Chris, let me ask you, of the players that came through, because most people have said that Arsenal's business this season has been good, right? Because we brought in Ramsdale, Ben White, those two you were probably familiar with, but I'm assuming you didn't think Ramsdale was going to be as good as he has been for Arsenal. And
I don't think anybody did they? I mean, you can't judge people by the fact that their team got relegated. We bought Maguire from a relegated Hull, and he's Man United captain. He scored for England. We got 80 million for him. You know, one player doesn't mean a team goes down. And I think with Ramsdale, any goalkeeper, you've got to look at how good the defence are in front of them. And for example, that's been our trouble this year. Kasper is still good. You know, he saved a penalty, the first penalty.
Keepers sometimes aren't as good as his defence.
But we haven't got a settled back four. We changed, because of injuries and COVID, we're changing it every week. And that means that if you look at Kasper's stats, they're not as good as the last 2 seasons. Doesn't mean he's suddenly become a bad goalkeeper. But you've got to give... You know, I'll be the same as you with, say, Vestergaard and moaning about him. But when I sort of kind of sit down and think, you've got to sometimes give players a chance to settle into a new club. But no, Ramsdale's been absolutely brilliant for you.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like to complete that thought. So Arsenal's business has been phenomenal.
I will just say
that's players that no one assumed.
Marley, you do know Arteta quite bluntly admitted in a press conference he bought him. Marley, yeah.
You met Watford fan?
No.
Oh, that's okay.
No,
mate. I thought you were somebody else. I'm going to say.
He quite openly admitted in a press conference he bought Ramsdale, right, because of his personality, not talent, personality. Right. Okay. Right. I thought the talent comes first, the personality comes second. Like, but there you go. So really, it was caught with a bit of a gamble. But there you go. It paid off. I'm not complaining.
You're twisting
things.
You're twisting things.
No, I'm not. That's what he said in the press conference. I'm not twisting. That's exactly what he said.
No, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But one second. First of all, I'm not defending Arteta now. I'm defending Edu.
And by the way, we got such a good core. We got such a good core. Who's the stupid idiot in the midfield who gave away the penalty?
He's talking about
who's the stupid idiot he gave 2 contracts to, though he tried to sell him, and he told you and the rest of the fans to F off.
But you're arguing
such a good
things
call.
That people are not saying.
Such a good call.
When Arteta said that, he said, he has an awesome personality. He didn't say he thought he was a bad goalkeeper and he's buying him because he's a good guy. He was complimenting the... But, dude, you like our core as well. You don't think Ramsdale, Takehiro Tomiyasu, Gabriel Magalhães, Tierney, Odegaard, Saka, ESR, and Martinelli are a good core? You don't think that's a good young core?
Do me a favour. Don't mention fucking alcohol on this channel, please. But you find yourself fucking blocked
No,
very fucking quickly.
Drake, you gotta. I'll jump on here because Steven got rightfully aggressive. Like alcohol is not welcome on this channel, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's because Steven spent his whole life fighting liver problems. So yeah, you can't be talking about that. But I'm assuming Drake didn't know. I'm assuming he didn't know. So.
Can I just say about this personality thing though? You've got to pick players that are going to fit in.
Because I'll just say one thing, sorry, because the one thing I get angry for, because I know people have died from it.
Yeah.
Oh no, we get that. We get that totally. I agree.
Friends
with
of
you.
ours.
Yeah.
But going back to the personality thing, we bought a guy when we were sort of years and years ago called Dennis Wise.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
Now, great footballer. He's won things, obviously.
Was he a player manager at one point?
No. Thank God. He actually managed to knock out Callum Davidson with the right hook during an argument over cards, and then he was one of the reasons we went into administration because he sued us for sacking him. Of course, you can't sack a player. You can't sack a player for hitting another player. But anyway, his personality did not fit in. We've got, everybody says Leicester's like a band of brothers, and we're that championship winning team. We are, we were there were ragtag and bobbins that we'd bought from here and people that hadn't made it at other clubs and free transfers. And if you put somebody in with the wrong personality, that's just going to destroy the whole group and everything you've built up. So personality, yes, I think it's a good thing. That's why Balotelli doesn't stay many places wrong, because his attitude and personality doesn't fit in with a lot of teams.
What? We're not get. Yeah, I know. We're not getting Lukaku for a start. Where's that come from?
I don't think
he's going back to Inter Milan, isn't he?
I don't think he won't leave. I think even though the reports are exactly it's shit, I don't think
he's not going. He's not. No way. Saeed, my man, how are you?
Yes, the king is here.
How you guys doing?
What are you calling a king? There's only one king on this channel, and you're speaking right now, mate.
The dictator is on it again.
Oh, come on, mate.
Go for it, man.
Yeah, I'm good. Obviously, it was a very emotional weekend. We were all gutted. We played so well, and we lost.
Yeah, but
when your emotion comes down, Steven, and you look at it, we know that the refs are shit. It's not just to Arsenal.
This is what I keep saying. Is like I hear this all the time, and everyone keeps saying it's a conspiracy. And it's not a conspiracy against just Arsenal, right? It's because Chelsea get bad decisions, Leicester get bad decisions, Liverpool get bad decisions, Liverpool get less. They all get bad decisions.
Yeah, Mane should have been sent off in the Chelsea game.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm not having this rubbish. It's all against Arsenal. It's not.
You do see,
but for me, I look at
slight favoring towards the Manchester clubs and Liverpool. You do see it.
Well, yeah, maybe, but it's not
what I'm saying is
hell bent against them.
The refs are shit, and yes, they may favor some teams a bit more, but
that's why we should have scored a second and a third.
But if we look deeper into it, the reality is Granit Xhaka should not have pulled Bernardo Silva's shirt. It was unnecessary. That's on him. But I've passed the stage when I blame Granit. I blame Arsenal for keeping him, and I blame the manager for playing him. Because we know that every season he will give away penalties, he will give away red cards, and he will make mistakes. He's done it every season since he's been here, and he's going to keep doing it. That's a fact. So who do you blame then? That's on the manager.
Can you imagine? No, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you look at Gabriel, great defender, love him, good prospect, too rash and emotional sometimes. He had a yellow card. Whether that yellow card was rectified or not, when you are on a yellow, you need to calm down. That
Yeah.
second yellow was so unnecessary. So
He
we have
didn't. Why
two.
is he running out? Why is he running away from his defensive line? He doesn't need to. You've got midfielders there covering. Like,
Yeah,
and
you,
what he done,
you
he
have to
run
be
straight at
smarter.
him. And when you've run straight at him, what you've done is Jesus has looked at this and said, well, you're either going to take me out or I'm going to do you and I'm going to skin you and leave you 3-on-3 with the defence. Right? So, and as soon as Gabriel's realised this, he's like, shit, I've got to take him out now. Otherwise, it's a 3-on-3. So,
And you could
it's like a
tell.
goal scoring opportunity, like, sort of thing.
You could tell when the game got emotional, we did not have one player on the pitch who was taking leadership to calm down the rest, and that was the difference.
You don't have a whole.
That's why we need experience.
There's no leader in the whole Arsenal squad. Never mind, he was on the pitch at the time.
That's why I said, Josh. This is why I said this. When we're getting players,
that's what I'm saying. People think that a captain is the one who shouts and get the crowd up. No, the captain is the one who, when the game gets emotional, he calms the player down. When you are asking for a leader, he stands up and takes responsibility.
So this is what I said about this Isak that they're looking at now. This is why I said I don't want to risk not the fact. I'm not saying he's not talented. He is talented, but I think one, it's a bit already a bit too big a risk when there's other options. 3, we need someone that's probably more experienced at the top level of football. Someone that's got more like as an experienced player. And it's like I just said earlier in the show, right? When one in the defence, one in midfield, and one at attack. So you've got experience all the way through your team. 3 players at least that are experienced enough to tell the others, the youngsters, like, no, like, calm down, this, that, and all the other. So you've got at least 3 leaders on the pitch, not just one.
That's why we wanna. That's why we were trying to renew with Lacazette.
Stephen asked Josh this: should Lukaku quit Chelsea? Josh, should Lukaku quit Chelsea?
It's a really difficult one because.
What's he actually said? That's what I don't know. I don't actually know what he said.
Basically, what Lukaku said is that he was basically talking all about. He said Inter Milan have the best fans in the world. He would love to return to Inter Milan one day. And that he did not agree with Thomas Tuchel's system, nor he liked the way Thomas Tuchel used him as a striker in the system. It's a very difficult one with Lukaku. Obviously, everything he said in the interview was a disgrace. It was out of order. Not only did he go behind Chelsea's back, Thomas Tuchel's back, and even his own representatives, his own camp, his agents as representatives. He went behind everyone's back. He went completely solo, completely rogue with his interview with Sky Italia. Everything he said was wrong. It was a disgrace. It completely undermines Thomas Tuchel. It completely undermines and disrespects the fans and the football club. Especially given the amount of money he's on and the fact that he is our world record transfer fee, club record fee. But it depends on what happens behind closed doors. Thomas Tuchel made the completely right decision by leaving him out of the squad against Liverpool. Just saying, we'll focus on the Liverpool match, then we'll deal with the question of Romelu Lukaku. Tuchel has did the right things yesterday. He's going to consult with all the leaders, Tony Rudiger, Jorginho, N'Golo Kante, Kai Havertz, Alpaquada. He's going to talk with Lukaku. He's going to talk to the senior players, and it depends on what Lukaku says behind closed doors. If Lukaku comes and says to Thomas Tuchel that he apologises to, or what he says, he apologises to the players, and admits responsibility, that could be enough to get him back into the squad. If Lukaku refuses to take his comments back, then he's probably good as gone. But the idea that Lukaku isn't going to try and force a move in January at least. Obviously, what happens in the summer stuff. Inter Milan fans don't want them out. They held a banner outside the San Siro saying, "Romelu Lukaku, you're not welcome back to our club." So he's kind of screwed himself in a lot of ways. But Should he quit Chelsea? No, at the current moment. But I said it depends on when the reports of what happened today in the meet with Thomas Tuchel. If he admits responsibility and he'll come out and apologise to the players, to Thomas Tuchel, to the board, and to the fans, then I think Chelsea and he gets back into lineup and plays for the badge and plays for the club, then I think he'll be left behind. But you know, if he plays and if he plays and you can tell he doesn't care and he doesn't you know, show responsibility and have an apology out to Tuchel and the fans, and he'll not play again for Chelsea Football Club. So it all depends on what's closed door today. But either he'll get back into the squad that's left behind him, or you won't see him play for Chelsea again. And it's one of those two things. It's impossible to know until we know what happened at the meeting today. But I have a funny feeling Lucky will be back because Chelsea can't get rid of him, and Chelsea need him. So I think he'll be back.
Right, so yeah, that's very well said. To be honest, I can. Hopefully by the North London derby, your vision gets better. Probably not, mate. To be honest, our Conte's could have probably tear us apart. Let's get the curb. Are we really worrying about that now?
Sorry, Charlie, you wanted to say
Come on.
something when I was speaking.
Yeah, I wanted. Can you imagine if Thomas Partey actually keeps his form and Arsenal goes and gets Bruno Guimarães to play alongside him?
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the best central pairing in the league.
Yeah,
Spare
man.
a thought for Phil Jones getting his testimonial today.
And I'm kind of hopeful with that one because you don't see any bigger teams linked with him, and Roma's the only one. They're not gonna pay the amount of money that Lyon are asking for, so I'm actually kind of hopeful there.
That would be a dream signing.
Dream. Mate.
He's a quality midfielder.
Yeah, man. I'd enjoy our Brazilian core.
Yeah, I can imagine you do. we haven't really had one since Gilberto and Denilson.
Yeah. And
So yeah, we get to what? So we got Liverpool in the cup. We got Liverpool in the Cup next. Right. But there you go. That's another story. That's for a preview later on.
Yeah.
Go move forward anyway, quickly.
Do you see the mug?
What? Yeah, you wish. Is that what you're sending me in the post? Is that what you're sending me in the post? This guy. What is he on about? What's he on about, this guy?
Yo, Chris,
right.
what are Leicester looking to do this January? Are they looking to do anything business-wise?
Yeah, that's a good point. We got the back pages coming up tomorrow.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
But I just want to, because I just want to quickly rush through the rest of these games. Crystal Palace, West Ham. West Ham 3, Crystal Palace 2. Anyone's got any thoughts about this this game? What would they make of that?
I'll start very quickly. In my opinion, Crystal Palace, I think it was going in the kind of maybe flattered West Ham. I don't think West Ham were not particularly that good. Crystal Palace created a fair few good opportunities, played some really, really good stuff. But Crystal Palace have a young defence, like a really, really young, inexperienced defence.
They've got a very shaky defence, haven't they?
This will happen this season, where a very young, inexperienced defence of Mark Gucci and Jan Anderson. These things will, and Tarek Mitchell, these things will happen. They will concede goals like this. And at the point, while starting young and building up, I thought they played really, really well. 2 great goals. They should have scored more. And yes, it was 4 goals that they conceded. But I said, young defence, they'll grow from this. Palace have done exceptionally well, and they should have. I think they should have got a point from that game quite easily.
Oh my god, Jake! The only cup you're getting is a teacup.
Well, it's not lying.
Yeah. Well, you've already got your teacup there, ain't you?
Yeah. I might send it to Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Be his biggest achievement.
Has Brentford been winning titles that I haven't heard of, that I forgot about? Like, what's happening here?
Oh, yeah. Well, they did beat, mate. They did beat us, mate. Come on, sharp. Like, he got bragging rights until then, but it's gonna be a smack. Jake, you probably said it was gonna be a smackdown on the opening day of the season, and what happened? Like, just shush. Just look. Glow. This is a beautiful thing you might need to learn about Arsenal. Glow after the result. Like, that's when you do it. Like, do it before the result at your own peril. Like, trust me. Like, and look, who cares? I don't really care. But if we win the Cup, great. I don't really care. There's bigger things on my mind. Like, to be honest.
In Europe, Stephen.
Oh, that Mickey Mouse competition! Get out of here! No, get out of here! No. Bye. It's you already.
You would not want to win the conference.
I don't want that Mickey Mouse Conference League fucking crap.
You're not even good enough to be in that this season, are you?
Yeah, I don't want to be in that.
Because I don't want to be in it.
Yeah, to be fair.
You're not in it.
Look, I have not heard Arsenal and conference in the same sentence since the 19th century. I don't want to have it back.
Were you alive in the 19th century?
Yeah, even last season, I said, I hope.
No, but that's when we were in a conference.
7, because I
just can't believe that a fan of any club does not want to win a trophy, whether it's the Carabao Cup,
the Carabao Cup I take. The Conference League is just a Jiffy Joe tournament that
no, it's not. No, it isn't. It's a European tournament that gives you a trophy.
It's
if we were to win it this season, that's another trophy we'll have.
The equivalent of winning the Papa John Trophy.
So it's a trophy. And this is the problem. This is the problem with fans of the big 6 clubs. You've got ideas above your station.
But honestly, I feel like
you're not. You're sat there saying that you don't want to be in the Europa Cup. We're bigger than the Europa Conference Club.
Hang on, we finished.
The 6th one. There are 5 big clubs in England, not 6. The 6th one is you guys, not Spurs. What are you on? I'm not. Like, I can't stand
that's a different argument.
A big club. I can't
that's a different argument. But you've got. I just think, and I'm not just saying Arsenal, but even Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool. Yeah, we don't want to be in that competition. Well, you're not in that competition because simply you weren't good enough to qualify for it.
Yeah, but
and that's a fair enough argument.
So if you qualify for it. You don't want to win. You don't, as a fan, want to win silverware. I don't understand that logic at all. If you can win a trophy, even if it's a cup.
So hang on a minute.
It's like
you play your games. You're playing games. You're playing your games on a Friday, right?
No, Thursday.
In this Thursday. I think some of them are on a Friday. I swear they are.
No, it's Thursday.
Ours are all Thursday, which we were in the Europa
League.
Well, okay, right. So right, you've got that holding you back.
Why are they holding us back?
But you say that you've got these Conference League games. You've got these Conference League games holding you like in the midweek. Then you've got the weekend games as well, right? Say Arsenal right now. I think half of probably some of what reason we're so far up and we're doing so well right now could be the fact is that we have a whole week break. Right?
Yeah.
And we don't have midweek games, right?
Well, for the next 20 years, don't qualify for Europe. Then
no. What I'm saying is, if it means that we then get into top 4, right? So then we can get the better players to then go on and challenge for the league. I would rather have been in that than having to play Europa Conference League, right? Trying to be in that and then trying to get top 4, which I've been definitely meant to because I'm having to play midweek games.
But the thing is, right?
Because in the end, I'm then getting my bigger target, which is winning the league.
When we won the Premier League, we weren't in Europe, so we didn't have that distraction that all the other clubs. But that wasn't the reason that the other clubs. You didn't win the league. You didn't challenge us for the league that season because you were in Europe. You didn't win it because you weren't good enough. Full stop. Man City didn't win it when we won it because they weren't good enough and they were sacking the manager earlier. Liverpool weren't good enough.
No,
and
but what I'm saying is that I'd rather
Europe doesn't have an influence on where you end in the league because I remember Chelsea after they finished, was it 8th or 10th? because they didn't have any European tournament. They want to win the league.
They won the league.
It helps. It has an impact.
It does help
because traveling impact players. But for me, it's more. It's not about arrogance. For me, it's more that I'm tired of UEFA keep getting this tournament just for them to make money. That's the only reason. That's the only reason for the Nations League. The only reason for the Conference League. They just want more pocket.
They're extending the Champions League
as well. It's not about players' welfare. It's not about teams being more competitive. It's all about them, and that's why I'm against it.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with winning the Carabao Cup. I don't have a problem with winning the FA Cup. I don't have a problem with the Europa League, but there must be some kind of limit. When does it end? Are we gonna create that Europa Conference League? Like it's like,
you know what happens, Chris? I'm in total agreement with King here. Total agreement. I think the Carabao Cup, it's more really like we don't care too much. We want to win, but you're not going to see us celebrating too loudly. But the thing is, with Europa Conference League, like Arsenal's been a huge club for a long time, and we never won a European trophy, right? So I don't know, it's depressing. It's almost like we're ashamed because it looks like a competition was created for us to finally win. You know, like it's almost embarrassing that way. Can you understand that? I think it's
after we've been in the Champions League for so long and haven't won it, and then we still even won in even Europa League all the years.
And I get that after we'd won the Premier League. Well, look at this season. We won the FA Cup and the
Just before you go, Chris, I just got to go through some of these comments otherwise I'll miss them completely. Phil Jones scoring a hat-trick of goals tonight. Big up him. Let's get his testimonial. European Conference League is Arsenal's level right now. Why would any team go to the Conference League? Because it's shit. Chris, sadly, the Conference League is Arsenal's level right now. Arsenal is disgusting, disgraceful, inconsistent. Very good point. 11 likes. Keep smashing that like button, please. Keep hitting that like and subscribe button. It is for charity. Don't forget, what you will also notice on the thumbnails now is the charity's logo, which is the little blue stickman and the yellow circle. So
just an update for anybody's interested. Thiago Silva has signed an extra 1-year deal with Chelsea to stay on next season.
Wicked. There you go then. Man United versus Wolves have just started. Phil Jones had had to look closely at the football. He hasn't seen it for a while. Chris, you were saying.
Yeah.
And we got about 10 more minutes.
Success breeds expectations. We finished 5th for 2 seasons. Last season, we won the FA Cup and the English Super Cup, as I like to call it. And this season, we're struggling. And a lot of our fans... It is. You can't deny it. A lot of our fans...
Shield, for fuck's sake.
It's not.
It's a charity game.
It's a trophy.
It's a dinner plate. It's a dinner.
A dinner plate. You hadn't won.
We did. We won it. Hang on. The last time we were in it, we won it.
The last time. People forget about that. And I'll be honest with you, Liverpool were a big club in the 70s and 80s. They're not won anything. It took them 30 years to win something. Just because you were a big club, it's arrogant to say, we should be doing better than that. But you're not doing better than that. It's simply a fact of you're not good enough. But the fact that you don't want to win
we're not good enough.
Because you don't... No, what you're saying to me, and this is how it comes across to non-Arsenal fans, is you're saying that I don't want to win the Europa Conference because it's not a big enough competition for us. Well, guess what? You weren't even in that this season, so you couldn't win it. Maybe you've got to change your attitudes and start saying,
hang on, for me, it's me. It's like sort of Marnie mentioned. It's like for me, it's more like I want to see Arsenal get back to where they were. Right? But I know it takes time. But like, if we've got a better chance of being getting Champions League or year, because I think even with Europa League football, we can still attract players to then go on and challenge for the Champions League spots, right? So if we can finish in the top 6, so we can get to our aims in the long term, I'd rather try and stay out of the European Conference League if at all possible.
But the
If we do well, so we can get in and progress further.
in black and white, when you look at that, okay, it's taking on what you bought. But if I'm a player and I'm thinking, do I go to Arsenal?
Because in the end, I want to win the league.
When they last won a trophy. Oh, hang on, they've not won one for 5 years. I'll go over to Chelsea. I'll go to Man City. It's not the fact that you, they finished top 4. Whoopie fucking do. Top 4 does not give you a trophy. You know, and
trust me, I've said that. That's why I said Europa League, or that's why I said you can still. But if we look, we can still buy top players in Europa League. That's why I said Europa League and Champions League has not been too much of a difference for me. Like, I know it's a money difference, but not too much of a difference because you still get top players.
If you're a decent club, we said earlier, Man United should be able to attract a manager because of who they are. Managers should be wanting to walk over broken glass to get to them. Players, if Arsenal are as big as you guys seem to think you still are, players should be wanting to do that to come to Arsenal.
I don't think that compared to most fans. Compared to most Arsenal fans, I definitely do not think Arsenal are as big as they are.
But then you can say
it's because I want them to be.
Steven,
I want them to go back to where they were. I want them to be like as big as they were, but I know they're not.
The only reason why Tottenham can attract Mourinho and Conte is because they've been playing in the Champions League. It's not because they haven't won trophies. And that's not me saying it's more important to play in the Champions League than to win trophies, because I do think it's more important to win trophies. I'm just saying that I'm tired of UEFA's greediness, and that's why I don't like the Conference League. That's different from saying that I don't think that Arsenal shouldn't win this and this trophy. Because I've said that I want us to win the Carabao Cup. I want us to win the tournament that we are in. But I also think that there should be a limit to how many tournaments UEFA can create just to keep on making more money.
Because clubs like you've got and your owners want to go out and set up separate leagues. That's why we're having to make all these changes and do it. And I'm not blaming the fans for that. Obviously, I'm blaming your owners for that.
But then again,
our fans won't do anything about that.
But it goes back to the amount of money UEFA and FIFA are making is not distributed fair enough to the teams.
And do you think it's distributed fair enough within the English game?
I don't think
you've got clubs
either.
out there that can go out and pay £1 billion for one player,
I'm not saying
going
that
out
either.
of business.
I haven't said that either. I think the problem is, it's too much money.
I shared that comment.
In football now, to football to be fair. That's the issue. So you have stakeholders who got too much to earn to not turn down lucrative deals that favors them. So for them, they rather see City being able to buy a Grealish for 100 million because it's good PR and it sends a buzz all over the world and people will watch more games than having a fair rule where every team can spend just a certain amount of money and can pay a certain amount of wage, and whoever has the best structure will win. They don't want that.
Let me ask you a question then, right? I'm a player and I've been offered a contract by Newcastle United in this window, in this January window, and they're offering me 50,000 a week, and just for argument's sake. Arsenal
you're a bad player.
And say, do you want to come to us and we'll give you 30,000 a week?
Yeah.
Now, one player might say, well, I'm going to go to Newcastle. They're going to give me 20,000 because you can't do much on 30 grand a week, can you? You've got to have 50. But if anybody is looking at the table at the moment, I'd go to Arsenal because you're up there challenging for Europe. Newcastle are fighting relegation. And if it's a player that will go to Newcastle just because of the money, they're not the sort of player that you should be wanting at your club, because they're not playing for the club. They're literally just paying for the money. And I know these players don't have any loyalty because they're not local and they've not supported the club, but you've still got to have some loyalty and support to the people that are paying you wages.
Yeah, but I think the issue now that you see is that football agents are having so much influence in these players that they rather chase the money than a career. And that's why you see players, they make the wrong move because they can make more money rather than choosing a team who maybe play the styles that is better for them. And
keep smashing that like button, please. And
just
subscribe.
Lingard is the perfect example. He went to West Ham, he smashed it, he helped them to get to Europa League. But he rather stay in Manchester because it's a bigger club, but he's not playing regularly. He's not going to play for England, but he has more clout and his agent will get more bonus than go to a West Ham and earn less but play every week. And that's the problem we have today.
But on the other side,
yeah, of course, it's always been the problem on football.
You got somebody like Jamie Vardy that didn't go to Arsenal, who would have probably doubled his wages. And
to be fair, we were in the wrong position anyway.
But
but that's not
I
the
agree.
argument. What he's saying
taking
is
over, definitely. But
you have a few Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
You will have a few Steven Gerrard. You will always have the odd player who would do the right thing. But in general, look at Thomas Partey.
But
Atletico Madrid plays in Champions League. They won the league last season, but he left Atletico Madrid to go to a team who doesn't even compete for Champions League. It's because of money.
The problem is that like the thing is that you can't also in defense I can't blame them in a sense because like by the time they're 34, 35, their career's over.
Listen,
like,
I work for Lloyd's.
They try and make as much as they can before their career's over.
I can give myself as an example. I work for Lloyd's. If Boots come in and offer me a high salary, I go to Boots.
Yeah. So
at some point, if you're not born in England and you're not born in certain area and you haven't played for the academy, you don't have to be loyal to any team because there comes a day when you're not good enough. That team is gonna want to get rid of you anyway.
Yeah. We got to wrap this up in a minute. So Arsenal are after Isak. He would be a great signing for Arsenal. Great striker. Whereas he would be great in the future. Yeah, the international league football is still a big risk for me. Compared to some of the players we have been linked to. Yeah, not for me. Obviously, like great debate. Obviously, as usual. I don't think we covered all the games.
I like to come on the Arsenal chat, cause shit and leave. My work here is done.
Yeah, like instead of slaughtering us, what you've done is actually stirred the frigging Arteta pot, right? For God's sake!
Come on, I'm going to have to go and have a shower now. I've defended Arsenal. I feel dirty. I'm going to go and have a shower.
Yeah, so you bloody should, mate. Like, for God's sake!
What do you make of Arteta? Do you think us Arsenal fans should get behind him and look what he can do with his youngsters, or do you think that it's not good enough? It's always interesting to hear from someone who doesn't support.
Please say it's not good enough.
To be honest with you, it's hard because I don't follow Arsenal. I don't know, what he's doing with his decisions, how he is tactically, and we're just like any other club. We got rid of Puel because we were, as fans, we weren't happy, and we probably helped towards him leaving. I mean, we can have our thoughts on it, but our thoughts don't really matter. It's what you're the guys that are paying, to go and watch them every week. And it's very easy. No, you're not. But it's very easy for me to sit here and say, and I do say it, and it's all tongue in cheek, but stick with the process. He's coming through. It's his first managerial job. Blah blah blah. That's as an outsider. I've no idea whether he's right for your club or not. You're the guys that know that. I say I just come in to wind you up.
Yep, absolutely. He's definitely done that all right. Yeah, we're going to leave it there. Yeah, we'll let everyone shout out their socials and where they can find them. So let's start with the troublemaker himself, Chris.
Troublemaker, how dare you, sir? How dare you?
I'll call you a troublemaker as much as I want. There you go.
You call me worse offline.
Yeah. Chris, where can they find you, mate?
It's always a pleasure to come on, Stephen. Thanks for having me on. At Leicester TID is my Twitter, as you see there. And also Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube. Guys, if you haven't already, support this channel. Stephen does a great job for supporting the Liver Foundation. Give it support, like the station, and give all his videos a thumbs up.
Cheers, thank you. Josh, where can I find you, buddy?
JVSH on YouTube, and just as it is on my name, and then JVSH_CFC on Twitter. So New Year's, I've got a day of content. I've got watch-alongs from the Irish League games that I go to in Northern Ireland. I've got that. I've got we'll do on a Friday, and got NFL stuff come out, and also Chelsea stuff. And I'll be talking about this Lukaku news once the news about this meeting comes out. So that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to try and make a big year on YouTube and give it all I can, and we'll see where it leads me.
Wicked. Marley, my friend, where can they find you?
All right, mate. Well, you can always find me here. This is one of my homes where I feel great whenever I'm here. But find me at Football United TV, where I co-own it with Matt. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Football United TV, and follow myself on Twitter as well at Marley Chili.
Wicked. Saeed, where can I find you, mate?
Well, unfortunately, you can find me here with the dictator Steven. As you can see, no one really likes him. He doesn't let anyone shine. It's all about him, you know. But he forces us on here, so you gotta come.
He pays me, Saeed, doesn't he pay you?
Yeah, he pays me a lot. So.
Oh, that's all right then, mate.
I'm still waiting.
Go to another channel, get more money.
Yeah. So yeah, all of you paying members, thank you for paying for my lifestyle. I do appreciate
it. You're such a twat.
Yeah. But as they said, you know, it's a great channel. You know, it's all charity. Spread the word, share the streams, hit the like, subscribe. You know the deal. Let's get this channel to 2,000 subscribers in 2022.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you're new. And yeah, we're back at 9 PM actually. We're back at 9 PM. We've got what have we got? Oh yeah, we got finally that F1 quiz we can get out of the way. So we can get that done. So that'll be quite fun to do. It should be at least two people on for that panel for taking part. Third might be coming on if he's still around. But anyway, it will be done.
Right, will be there. He's contractually obliged to be there for you, isn't he?
He doesn't know the F1 side, so I'll lay him off on that one. But anyway, we're going to leave it there. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe. Make sure you check us out at 9 PM for that quiz. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.